Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to a new episode of Today's Youth. And today we will be meeting with a multitasking young man. He has a variety of hobbies, activities, sports. We will be meeting with Dr. Mohamed Samir. He's a pharmacist. Thank you very much for joining us today.
Dr. Naveen.
Mohamed, tell me about your education. Why did you choose studying pharmacist, being a pharmacist? I mean, you have a variety of hobbies and you work in several, you have a lot of activities. Tell me, why did you choose this field in specific?
First, I have to thank you. I'm a pleasure to be in your known show. It's our pleasure to be in your show. Firstly, my career in pharmacy started from my parents. My mother was a teacher. My father and my grandfather was a pharmacist. So it was a family business.
Yes.
But after I finished, I chose being in marketing and related also to drug and medicine.
Mm-hmm. Do we consider this a career shift?
Yeah, it was a career shift. But it wasn't that easy because it was a new career. I have to study it from the beginning, and it was...
So you studied marketing?
Yeah.
Tell me more about your work, your current work.
My current work, part-time as a pharmacist, part-time as, main time as sales for some of our companies, and a field work manager in a research company in working for medicine and researching medicine and sales of medicine, related to sales.
Yes. Mohamed, you have a variety of hobbies and activities. Tell me more about those hobbies, among which is rowing, of course.
Yeah, I was a champ in rowing for 7 years, consecutive 7 years. It's a sport that bring all the pressure and deplete all your pressure and makes your body more healthy than ever. Yeah.
Right. You participated in several championships in the field of rowing. Tell me more about those championships.
I was champion for. I was playing for a club called Mahuli Al Arab from 2002 to 2012. Rowing is from one of the sports that consume all your time. There is no time for playing. There is no time to waste your time. No time to do anything. You have no energy to do anything
else
unhealthy. Mainly, it's you have to train 3 times daily, 2 times, 1 in the morning at 5 a.m.
How many hours of training?
3 hours to 4 hours, and before championship, 5 hours. Then at noon, from 3 to 7, and at night at a gym or a running track to increase your more power to rowing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What about swimming and boxing?
It was the secondary sport that I play. Swimming, I have several championships in it in Ahli club, in Ahli.
So you won some competitions, tournaments?
Yeah, about 4 or 5 championships, national championships.
Right.
Yeah. Then the rowing takes all the time, so I quitted swimming, or put it aside. Then mainly the rowing.
Mm-hmm.
And boxing is kind of self-defense to make you more powerful for any situation, but not without any championships.
Right. Moving on from sports to music and, of course, video directing. Tell me more about those hobbies.
It was a hobby. It was hobbies that I started after the university. I go a lot to Sinai, which is a heaven. So I started to lift my mobile and record. Then I started to study more about directing, about montage, about then it began a side job that it provides me a lot, alhamdulillah.
So you also do video editing.
Yeah.
Right.
And music production. Yeah. Because if you know digital media like YouTube, Facebook, whatever,
Yes.
if you don't have your own material, you're flagged. You can't. If you put any other music or any other media for another person, it got shut down. So you have to do your own gig. So it was a beginning. Everything was a hobby, then started to be a kind of a work.
Right. You have a very special interest in Sinai.
Yeah.
And you stay there.
Sinai is my other wife.
Right. Tell me more about Sinai.
Sinai, I started going to Sinai from 2009 till today. Started as I was a visitor, just going once. I hate driving more than 3 hours, so it was painful at first, but when you just go there, you fell in love with it. Yeah.
Where did you go in Sinai?
Just from the tunnel to the end of Egypt, all of Sinai. I go to every month to a different place in Sinai, even camping. You find every spot different than the other spot, which is 2 to 3 meters away from the previous spot. It's like heaven.
Yes. Tell me about the details. I mean, which areas did you visit? How did you see the development that took place in Sinai during the recent years after 2011?
Yeah.
How do you see the development taking place right now over there?
Sinai, from the beginning when I first gone to it, was just like a lost place. Nothing there. There is no water. There is no infrastructure. There was nothing at all. Just buildings, few foreigners, and Sharm el-Sheikh was the hub.
Yes.
Thankfully, President Sisi have built another infrastructure and made another, converted this area from a lost land into a pioneer. And this is what I've seen with my own eyes. The roads, the infrastructure, the water, the drinking water. Lots of people from Sinai suffer from kidney problems from
because
the
of
wells.
the water.
The water.
Yeah.
Water from well, from the ground. President Sisi made an infrastructure for desalination, the largest in the world.
Water desalination.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
In Ain Sokhna and in Ras Sedr, and made an airport in Ras Sedr, and made roads which is international roads. At the past, when you go driving, you don't know if you're coming safely or not.
Yes.
Now, it's like Cairo, but with beaches, with sand,
Mountains.
with mountains, and
beautiful weather, of course, around
weather all around the year.
Yes.
You find
even
it,
in the winter.
In the winter, there is no winter. There is no winter in Sinai.
Yes.
It's always sunny, and the weather is warm in winter. But in summer, I love hot weather. It's like heaven. fishing, and there is sports. Sinai have one sport which is not available in all of Egypt, like kite surfing. Kite surfing is like of parachuting, but on water, sliding on water with a board. For example, Ras Sidr, it's an area in South Sinai. It's number 2 in the world in kite surfing.
What type of tourists come specifically for kite surfing in Sinai?
All over the world. They come from all over the world because they know that this area has something which is not available in anywhere. Stable water, shallow water.
Specifically in Ras Sidr?
In Ras Sidr, yeah. And in Ras Shaitan, and in all of Sinai. It can be, you can participate in this sport in it.
Does any competitions take place? Does any tournaments take place in this area?
International competitions, a private one, not a national.
Yes, not on the national level.
They don't know. When I talk with other Egyptians about this sport, they don't know it. It's just like a parachute in the sky, propelling you on a board, strapping with a wire. Some kind of danger, it's dangerous a little bit, but if you know its rules, it's very easy.
What would you like to tell youth about sports, the importance of sports in their lives? How does it empower youth? How does it help them to manage their life? Tell me more about sports and its importance for youth from your own opinion.
That's a very important question. Sports is like the software of your body. If you've done it right, you sustain your body, and your body will always be in a good shape, a good state. No diseases, no anything, and it prevents you. It takes your time and all your negative energy and convert it to a positive energy. Sports software. It's a software for a human being. Prevents you from. As you know, a worldwide problem is drug abuse, and drug and psychic medication, and it's all over the world. Egypt, one of the countries that has this problem.
But I think we overcame this problem.
After 2013, the problem is depleted. There is no, the amount of drugs was in Egypt from 2011, 2013 and 14 was aimed directly to destroy the youth. And
after 2013 and after 2014, what happened?
A complete shutdown for the entrance of the drugs to all over Egypt, which was difficult for the police and the National Guards, and to make that, it was a fight. We see it with my own eyes in Sinai. Drug dealers bring from the sea boats with drugs, and Sinai is like a white paper. You can see anything.
So this is completely blocked now. After 2014, I mean, after 2014, we don't find drugs in Egypt. Almost
not that easy.
I mean, almost.
And
it
very
was
expensive.
Minimized. It's now at a minimum level, and I think we overcame this problem. We came a long way in this.
A long way
Yes.
from this problem.
Yes.
And all the...
We shut all entrances and borders
Mainly?
through which this used to come to Egypt, right?
Mainly, all the drugs came from Sinai, from the south side of Sinai, and from the east, Libya, and from the
Right.
sea.
You also had some volunteer work helping the youth overcome such problems.
Yeah.
Tell me more about this
was-
type of volunteer work.
I was honored to work as a volunteer for drug control and rehabilitation for the patients. I call it patients, not addicts, because they are human beings. Just took the wrong path, and they are trying to make it right again. Mainly, they are sincerely trying to stop drugs. I started to, from my own, to study the right ways to make somebody stop different, different drugs and illicit drugs. What I mean is illicit drugs. Pills, cannabis, opium, heroin, cocaine, and the newly synthetically drugs, ketamine. All of these drugs, I've studied the way to make a patient stop taking it as first step. Then I converted to a specific doctor and a specific hospital to complete the course. It's like a course, a new software also for the addict or for the patient to rediscover the right way to live. Drugs is like a cancerous cell which spread all over the society. If one person is hooked with drugs, he will affect and spread this virus all over the society. If you eradicated or controlled one person, you prevent 100% from his circle to be as him, an addict. Because an addict will make all around him addicts.
Yes.
If you stopped or controlled him, you will make a better society.
Talking about this issue, I'd like you to tell me what would you like to tell youth about persistence and perseverance to overcome obstacles, to continue of course, you met a lot of obstacles in your life, you overcame them. What would you like to tell youth about this, about persistence and perseverance?
First thing, you have to believe that we are in life for a test. You just have to pass it or lose it. If you have that belief, you will overcome any problem. Me, myself, I've had too many problems which I faced in my different ages. If you looked at it from outside, that was not a problem that you can solve. A problem you have to find all the aspects around it, or the problem, around the problem, to see what is the cause, what is the solution, how to solve it.
Right. You also traveled to several countries, to Saudi Arabia, Jordan, the Emirates. Tell me more about those trips.
After graduation, I worked for a research company, one of the international research companies, drug research company, medication, يعني. What I mean is medication. I started working from 2007 till 2018 as a fieldwork manager. So I give some courses to newly applied employers in several countries, and it was very hard.
Yeah. Moving on to back actually to persistence and perseverance, and telling youth about how to reach one's goals and being persistent on this. How do you see Mohamed Salah in this?
Mohamed Salah has started from the bottom till he became a star, and he put an aim in front of his eyes and dropped all the problems that he can, a normal person can face to reach his goal. Mohamed Salah is a sport or a football pioneer. He have started from really from the bottom till he became a star.
Yes.
It's all about training, doing hard work, and train till you reach.
How do you see him as an icon, as a symbol for youth?
I have lots of symbols. One of them is Mohamed Salah. He reached his goal after a severe effort. You can't, if you want to, nothing is easy. That's my advice for youth. Nothing is easy at all. It's not 1-2 step. It's 1,000 step. If you begin each step correctly, you'll reach your goal, even if you failed. For an example, rowing. You are only in a boat, very thin boat, okay? Any wrong move, you flip. To be, and flipping is so difficult to floating the boat and sitting and starting from the beginning. I've took 4 months just only to be stable in the boat. And I was persistent.
But you will do it. You will make it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Also in kite surfing. Kite surfing, one of the problem in it that you, in a second, you fly 30 meters up in the air, suddenly air stops, you fall in water. If you're not, you don't know how to, you're going to injure yourself. At the beginning, I've injured my back, injured my knees. Even some people have lost their life just trying to do these sports. But everything, you have to do an effort to reach it. That's only the advice I have to give.
Right. Well, finally, Mohamed, tell me, what's a word or a message that you would like to deliver to the youth from your place here?
My advice, it's just, you do your thing, you do your effort, and God will guide you and route you to the right way. There is nothing easy in this world. We're born in a difficult way, and the life will continue in a difficult way. So you have to be strong.
Right. Well, I would like to thank you very much for joining us
You're
today,
most
Dr.
welcome,
Mohamed Samir. Thank you very
Naveen.
much for joining us, and all the best of luck.
Thank you so much.
And ladies and gentlemen, that brings us to the end of this edition of Today's Youth. Many thanks for watching, and don't forget to join us next week, same time. Till then, it's goodbye.